of Addiction Live, and today we're going to be talking about committing to recovery. My name's Ashley Bloxham and I'm a therapist, an addictions counsellor, and I also have overcame addiction. I've studied addiction for a very long time, and I also have experienced people who struggle with addiction. I'm also a therapist, which I've said, but I specialise in other things. So what is going on with this slide? So yeah, just here to offer a little bit of support. So today's topic is about committing to recovery. So anything that we decide to commit to, we're going to exceed in. And if we are committing to addiction, we're going to be good. I honestly was the best cat addict going. I knew exactly how to just like maximize my experience. I just made sure that I always had my drugs sorted, and yeah, I was just very good at being a cat addict. I spent a lot of time doing it, and obviously there was problems. But on the flip side of that, when I started my recovery, I started committing to that. And although it was really difficult in the beginning, it did become something that I got good at. So I'm so unwell, by the way. I'm only popping on for 15 minutes today. But I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about it's really difficult to start something new, and it really is like starting something new. You're so used to your life being entangled in addiction and everything that involves, and you literally build your whole life around it. But when you start to commit to recovery, it's really difficult because you've got to like learn how to do everything again. You've got to learn how to socialize. You've got to learn how to get control over your brain. And I was thinking of the song of Mary Poppins, "A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down." And I was thinking about how when we're rewiring our brains, it's really medicinal for just in general. Oh God, I am sweating out here. Oh, honestly, so unwell. We're rewiring our brains, and it is like medicinal. Hi, Bob. I'm struggling a bit today, so I'm just popping on for a little bit. But if you've got any questions about addiction or mental health, please do ask. What was I saying? Yeah. Also, you're just gonna have to bear with this because my brain's not working very well. Hi, Unique. How are you doing? Yeah, so just talking about, oh, thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. I don't feel it. I feel just really unwell. Hello, Fortunate Boy. Just people are joining now. If anyone's got any questions about addiction and mental health, please do ask away, because I'm a therapist, so I can help with that. But I'm just talking about committing to recovery, and it's really hard when we're doing something new. We just feel like it's an absolute slog trying to learn a new skill, and it is learning a new skill because we're having to rewire our brains. And I was thinking of the quote, the spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. And I think that's a really helpful thing to think about, is when we are in recovery, think about looking for the sugar in life. Look for the little sweet things which are going on, and try to focus on the nice things that you've got and incorporate nice things into your recovery, because you're going to feel a bit rubbish at the beginning. But like anything that you commit to, if you just keep committing and you commit to finding the sugar in life, finding the sweet little things, just really focusing on the things that you enjoy, you will eventually get out of it. And you're also going to rebuild how you're looking at your life. I'm just going to answer some questions. That was quite a rubbish intro today, but I am struggling. Right, I'm not answering that one. Where am I from? I'm from Newcastle in England, north of England. Oh, thanks, Dave. I just feel really tired more than anything. Fortunate Boy, you're also really sick. Yeah, same, honestly. So I've noticed there's a few people watching, and if there's any questions around addiction and mental health, I'm a therapist, so I will absolutely do my best to offer some support. Jay, struggling from porn addiction. Yeah, porn addiction's like really common. And it was like the biggest, when I went into private counselling, I've said this quite a few times so people have already seen my live, but that was one of the biggest addictions which came through the door was porn addiction. Jay, would you like some support with it? Like, would you like some tips and tricks and things that might help you? If so, maybe just give us a little bit of a down low on what you're struggling with, and I'll try and tailor some support in for other people listening as well. Jonas is saying, what have I been addicted to? So I was addicted to ketamine, was like the worst thing. But I went in and out of having coke. It's like trouble with coke. I've always had a problematic relationship with alcohol, but I was addicted to mind altering substances. I just wasn't sober in my 20s at all. Really just don't know any days. Jonas, I'm addicted to Xanax, opioids, alcohol and weed every day for 12 to 13 years. Years old. I don't know how many years old you are because you forgot to put it in. But Jonas, I've got a couple of spots, and if anybody's in active addiction who's listening, I've got a few spots left on my addiction group, which is going to be starting. I want to start it next week, but I'm going to see how well I'm feeling. It might be the week after. So it's absolutely free, by the way. It's just a free addiction support group. So if you'd like to join that, Jonas, you absolutely can. And yeah, but I think when we're addicted to lots of things, so you've spoke about opioids there. You can cut off. I think if you want to join the group, I'll give you a one-to-one chat to give you some one-to-one support, because you've got a mixed bag of stuff there going on, and we'll try and come up with like some kind of game plan for you. Are you addicted to me? There's worse addictions out there, definitely had a few myself. I failed my medical test on the 3rd attempt too. I lost my physical and mental health. I'm so disturbed. Please give me some motivation. So is your medical, is that for the forces? I don't know what you say, I'm just going to call you Haid, because I can't pronounce that. I'm so bad with reading names. So yeah, is it medical for the forces, because that's like more of a career path, isn't it? And with your physical and mental health, yeah. So the thing is with the physical and mental health is like, I always think that when you're struggling with as soon as so I always think of like your health is, and this is for your mental health. So you've got your mental health, and underneath that you've got this 3 components, which I think is your physical health, sleep, and eating. And they're all things that impact our mental health outside of traumas and things going on. And the things that are in our control, they're just quite difficult to control. So first of all, I would say, what is your eating habits like? What's your sleep like? Now, I know that you said that your physical health is, you've lost your physical health. Is that because you can't do your physical health, or is it because you're just feeling depressed? Because it's like a biofeedback loop. If we're struggling with our mental health, then it can knock off those things I was talking about: physical health, sleep, and eating habits. But then that makes it worse, so it becomes like a catch-22. But also, I feel if we struggle with our physical health, sleeping and eating, that can offset our mental health. So it can be either or both. But either way, I think of mental health like a spiral staircase, and we can't always get back to where we were straight away. But what we can do is take stock of, are we walking down the spiral staircase, or we're walking up? And if we're walking up, then we just think about walking down, turn around and think about, how can I take one step up? So if we're struggling with our physical health, that might be something where actually we can't do much exercise. So then we can think about, is this something that I can do? Is this something, even if it's just neat exercise, which is just basically jargon for moving about. So yeah, I'll think of some motivation stuff. I'll answer some questions, and then maybe some motivation stuff will come to us. I'd like to give that a bit more time. Hello, old ass, how are you? Hi, tribal chief. I am 36. How old are you? Jonas, thank you. You really appreciate it. You're kind. So, Jonas, if that's something you want in support with, and anybody who's in active addiction who wants to be be involved in the free support group, just comment on any of my content support group, and then I'll pick up the notification and get back to you. I sometimes miss comments. Most of them I get, but if that does happen, just spammers. Send another one the next day. MBBS test. I don't know what that is. What's an MBBS test? Samantha Jones. Is that from Sex and the City? Because I was such a Samantha Jones fan. I'm 44 and I was addicted to heroin for 27 years. Now I've dropped it, but I am an addict to spice and methadone. That's so common to switch from one thing to another thing. One, it's like the brain, so you're gonna... The thing with heroin is it's also hijacking different parts of our brain, but it's the dopamine. So it's really common to try and get that dopamine fix from something else. Obviously with methadone, they're bringing you off because there's the physical, like chemical addiction side to it. But yeah, I wonder, Samantha Jones, one of the things that I did was I used to jump from one thing to another, and what I realised was it's actually an inside job. There's stuff going on inside me which is driving the addiction. So one thing that you can do while you're still addicted to different things, you've got off the heroin, which is absolutely great, and now you've obviously jumped ship to something else, is try and think, okay, my aim is to get sober, because you're saying that now you're addicted to that. So I assume with you using the word addicted that you want to not be addicted. But just think about, okay, what would my frame of mind have to be like for me to be sober? What would my life look like? What would I be doing in my life if I was sober? So try and map out, imagine you've went to sleep and you wake up and you're sober. What would that life look like? And write all these things down. And then think about, okay, right now I'm struggling with addiction. But what I can do in this time is start to act like the person who is sober. And you can start to just make little changes, because a lot of the time, it's not just the addiction that we've got to deal with. It's the feeling like it's the way you feel about yourself. It's the relationship with yourself. Maybe it's relationships with other people around you. Maybe you're going through a tough time and it's actually about focusing on healing that tough time. And maybe you're living a life that you just doesn't feel in alignment, or you've got a job that you hate, whatever it is. Just try and think about what are the things which are adding to the addiction and try and work on those things, because then when you come to getting off the other addiction, that will become easier. And absolutely in this time, love yourself. Like, learn to love yourself unconditionally. Learn to be really kind to yourself, and really try and break down the shame and shame about anything that's going on in your life, and any self-blame and self-hatred, any of this. If any of that's present, try and work on that, because it'll make moving from the addiction more helpful. Davo, could you ever fall in love with someone you're helping? It's really unethical to, well, not really unethical, like it's unethical to have any kind of relationship with people you're working with. People that are addicted to drugs need the Taliban rehab program. It actually works. LMAO. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. I don't know if you're joking though. Oh God. Right. If you are joking, I wasn't picking up that joke, but I've got a touch of autistic, so I don't get jokes very well. Oh, God. Right, you know I studied for 12 to 15 hours a day, no exercise, no friends, just study, but I still failed. Should I go for one more attempt? Would you like to have a little chat, like a little phone call, and we can hash it out together? Because one thing I can't do, like, is I can't sit here and tell people what to do. It has to come from you. But what I can do is just offer you a little bit of support, because I recognise, obviously, you're seeking a bit of support, and I can't give you I can only give like surface level stuff on live. So if that's the case, Hage, just comment on any of my content, and I'll arrange like a Zoom call or something with you, and we'll just hash it out and try and work something out for you. And yeah, and also I know you mentioned that you need some strategies and motivation, so we'll try and come up with a little personalized plan to get you back on track. Really, how am I doing? I'm quite unwell. I've been feeling really rubbish this week, actually, and I think because I've been really unwell, I'm sure people can relate that when we're just not feeling in a good headspace, like I was saying before with our physical health, when our physical health starts to decline, it's so easy just to go back into like really unhelpful patterns. And I've been on social media and I've just been really negative thinking, and just, yeah, not good. But I'm just trying to, I've woke up today and I'm just trying to think, yeah, I know you've been really negative, but you will get out of this. And that's the thing with mental health. And like I was saying before, it's like a spiral staircase. Like you're always going up or down. I feel like with mental health, we're just mood in general. We're either on the up and we're feeling good, or we're going down. And it's just about saying, right, if I'm going down this spiraling down, just like how can I spiral myself back up again? So I'm in the process of trying to do that today. How are you doing? How's everybody else doing? Hi, how are you? I've been clean and sober for 3 years now. Naomi, that's unreal. 3 years is really good as well, because your brain's completely rewired. How are you finding it? What's it like on the other side? And if you wouldn't mind, what's your favourite, like your biggest tip that you would give to somebody who's listening, who's struggling with addiction, that's helped you? Because you're a veteran now. You're doing great. I'm 6 years younger. Oh, 6 years younger than me, 30s. Still in the flirty 30 crew. Are your groups on video call? I'm doing it on Zoom. I think that's the best way, because I recognise with support, especially if you're in active addiction, although if people are if people are are in recovery but they're struggling to sustain it, that's also, they can also join. But I recognise with active addiction, one thing I struggled with was actually going and turning up to groups. I was really embarrassed about it. I didn't want anyone to notice. So I thought Zoom will be good, because you can protect your name and you don't have to go on the video camera. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but you can also join in if you want to. So yeah, Zoom. Not Teams, because I hate Teams. Every single time I use it, have an issue. Can't be arsed. Thank you so much. I'm going to do that. Really appreciate it. No, it's all right, Jonas. Like, I'm hyper aware that I can only offer surface level support on here. So I do want to give people support that's accessible. So like I say, it's going to be free. Is it possible to quit porn addiction? Absolutely. It's possible to quit any addiction. It's not easy. I don't want to sit here and be saying, oh, it's so easy. It's not. But with the right tools, the right support, and the right environment around you, and the right conditions, you absolutely could quit any addiction. I've worked with quite a few people with porn addiction, and we've got to a place of quitting. So, but it's about recognizing that addiction's just a manifestation, of something else going on underneath, and we need to tackle the thing that's going on underneath. So whoever I was talking to before, who said they had a heroin addiction and then they've ended up switching to spice and methadone, that's why I was talking about we're trying to create a life and a relationship with ourselves that we're in love with, because there's quite a few layers to it. So we've got the root cause, which is often trauma or disconnection from self or others, or mental health disorders. Usually we've got the trauma, then we've got the mental health disorders, then we've got the addiction, which is self-medicating, and in that mental health bracket we've got just poor mental well-being, where we just don't enjoy ourselves, we don't feel comfortable in our own bodies, so we're escaping. And yeah, that's why it's really important with any addiction to make sure you're working on that stuff, not just the addiction. Yeah. Naomi, yeah, I was on heroin for 15 to getting clean, just 3 years on meth script, and get pregabalin and nitazepam. I've not heard of nitrazepam. I've heard of metazapine. I got help through my church. That's amazing. Oh, there's been a message retracted that you sent, Naomi, after that, so I don't know what that said. That's amazing that you've managed to get from 15 as well. Is it 15? Sorry, from 15 to getting... Yeah, so for 27 years from the age of 15, that's amazing that you've managed to do that. That is absolutely insane that you've been able to do that. And like, I really hope that you're so proud of yourself and you're just living a lush, fulfilled life. Because the thing is, like, to be taking heroin when your brain is growing, it's really difficult when we're taking drugs when our brain's developing. It's such a double whammy. The problem is quite a lot of people do end up in addiction, or do end up engaging in taking drugs and alcohol while the brains are developing, because they develop up until 25-ish. But yeah, how are you finding that? Davo, can you do one-to-one? I've been listening to you and feel like you can help me. You're incredible. So what I'm doing is for people who are in dire, so I'm not doing it for everyone. So if people are in dire straits and they're really struggling, I'm just giving a one-to-one session to help them on track. So it's not, I need to be careful that I'm not just giving all my time up to free counselling sessions, because that's going to overwhelm us, because I'm a single parent. But if there's someone who's coming on and they've got a specific issue that I know I can't really address on the live, then, or there's something where they need to be signposted to other professionals, and I'm doing a one-to-one. If not, there's the group, which is for active addiction or people struggling in recovery, or obviously I'm on live every day. So it depends what the thing is. I'm not just giving out sessions to any situation, just because I need to be mindful of not burning myself out. So I hope that answered that question. William, you are beautiful. DPS, Matt, I'm in recovery. How's it going for you, Matt? How's it going? And how long have you been in recovery for? Me too. I'm nearly 4 years clean. I have realised that I need to stop. So my next addiction that I'm going to tackle is, I've started tackling it this morning, is social media. I think I watch social media and it just, if I'm feeling in a good headspace, it's fine. But I don't really use it as much. And if I'm negative, it just starts feeding all these ideas and planting all these things in my head. And then I start to create, because my brain's so overactive, I start to create all these narratives and think of all these like negative situations that I then internalize and believe to be true. And all of a sudden, like, my algorithm becomes my reality, and it's so unhelpful to my mental health. The thing is as well, usually when this happens, I'm already not feeling great, and I think it's so easy to think I'm going to just go on my phone and I'm going to doom scroll and just not think about feeling rubbish or whatever's going on. But actually, it's really creating so many problems in my life, and I'm creating all these backstories that I don't need to. yeah, it's really ruining my relationship with myself. So I really need to tackle that, and I've started this morning. It's been quite hard. Is there any doom scrollers in the group who who know what I'm on about? Because honestly, so I think I'm gonna switch it up for things that are productive and just get very strict with myself about it. Watch podcasts and stuff like that, which I say all the time, or I'm writing a book, I need to edit that, or just do something positive. But yeah, it just the thing with any addiction, even something that is a minor, I'm doing like air quotes, for some people it's not, but compared to my drug addiction, something as minor as doom scrolling, it still feels like the end of the world when you think, oh God, I'm not gonna doom scroll, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with my life? And so probably some nice things Ashley Bloxham. Like, you're probably gonna have time to enjoy stuff. You're probably not gonna be like creating all these crazy narratives in your head. Like, you're probably gonna enjoy life a bit more, but it just feels so overwhelming. But here we are, we're gonna do it. So you can keep us accountable, ask us how it's going. Psychedelics. Psychedelic, hi, how are you doing? Yesterday I played table tennis, had some tea, even baked bread, and went for a walk. That was something different. I've started baking my own bread. It's path to normality. I love that. You are smashing it, psychedelic. I don't want to like say psychedelic story, but psychedelics like turning up all the time and just every time just actually smashing life, like learning how to love life. I love it. It's just, it is, I went through a stage of baking my own bread. I've got a bread machine as well. I'm just cooking. That's what I'm going to do, actually. I've been thinking about how am I going to tackle my doom scrolling addiction. Obviously, I just need to remind myself, like, I've got through a cat addiction, I could get through doom scrolling. But yeah, leaning into the things that I enjoy that I just don't do because I'm feeling rubbish. And I think it's so sapping of my energy. Like, the more I doom scroll, the more drained I feel. It takes up all my energy. And I feel like I'm lying there thinking I'm resting, but I'm not. I'm using so much mental energy. I'm getting constant spikes of cortisol because I'm stressed out from the things I'm watching. And then I'm dropping because I'm finding something funny or something cute. So I'm on this emotional, hormonal roller coaster. And yeah, that's probably why I have no energy. It's probably why I'm ill all the time. It's a catch-22. So yeah, psychedelic, you've inspired us. Right. To be honest, I think annotating your accent makes super easy to listen, to take advice from, definitely. With the time, just for the comforting and welcome atmosphere you provide. Oh, thank you. I really enjoy that. That's a really nice compliment. Went straight to my head. I'll take it. Oh, I like that. Yeah, a lot of people say that. They're just like, I've got a calming energy. I don't know how. I'm so chaotic inside. I don't know how I'm transmitting calm vibes because inside I'm just, oh God. Like, my brain is so crazy. But I've learned to love my brain. It's the only thing. It's the only choice I've got is just have nice thoughts because I can't chill them out. Naomi, let's see what Naomi's saying. I still take it day at a time, but I got a lot of support from my church. I had to get a lot of therapy as I lost my first love and felt guilty. I stay away from my previous group. I do charity work. I'm so sorry about that. And do you know what it is? You know, what Naomi's describing there is Naomi is like a perfect example to anybody who's listening who's struggling with addiction on this is the blueprint of how to do it. She's clearly went through some trauma, which is awful. She's struggled with addiction from a very early age for 27 years. And I imagine by that point, because I was addicted, I wasn't sober, but I didn't ever feel like I had a problem when I was just constantly on planet off my nut, planet escapism, on drugs and alcohol. But I didn't feel like I had a problem. There was a few points where I felt like I had problems, but it wasn't long term. But when I had ketamine, it was for 4 years I was addicted to ketamine, and it it felt like, for me, a really scary place where there was no hope. I was just quietly accepting my fate, that this is getting harder and harder the more times I try to stop. The less I feel like I've got the ability to do it. I feel beaten down, and it just feels like a helpless situation. And Naomi is just clearly demonstrating that it doesn't matter how deep into your addiction you are. If you do things differently, you can get out of it. And what Naomi's described is the blueprint for getting out of addiction. She's found a tribe. She's found people who, I imagine, in a church environment, who are really supportive and kind and understanding, because the thing with religion is we've all got this moral compass, so it's just really supportive environment. So she's found a tribe. I have, incidentally, the same environment in jiu-jitsu. Everybody's so supportive. So you can find just a supportive tribe where you're just in it together. And then she's also went and got therapy. She's dealt with the root cause of the addiction, and she's faced that head on, so that she's not having to suppress the feelings. She's getting to explore them in a healthy environment. And she's got rid of that guilt. Guilt and shame are huge driving factors for addiction. And the problem is, often addiction adds to that shame and makes it feel worse. So she's dealt with these uncomfortable feelings, and then she's removed herself from the people which aren't helpful to her life. She's took stock of who and what's in her life. And then on top of that, she's doing something, acts of service. She's connecting with people outside of herself, and she's doing kind acts, and she's enjoying life. Like, that is the way to get out of addiction, guys. And like, Naomi, like, hats off to you. That is absolutely tremendous what you've done. Psychedelic. I think anyone who has time should spend it in the kitchen cooking and baking. After all, you can support a lot with proper nutrition. Absolutely. And it's so, like, anybody who is like interested in their physical health, look into the microbiome and the impact that microbiome has on our mental health. Like, we say that our guts are second brain, but it really is. If you haven't looked into your microbiome, it is so integral to mental health. And it could be just that little thing that gets you over the addiction, or if you're struggling with recovery, that could be help you feel better in it. So even just mental health. Yeah, psychedelic. Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down. Hi, Jason. How you doing? I've had to go into the depths of hell to conquer addiction. Yeah, you do. You have to go to hell. You have to face it, because we have to accept that addiction doesn't happen out of a vacuum. So then we need to get curious as to why we're struggling with addiction, because somebody who's lived a happy, positive life full of love and joy isn't going to go down that route. Naomi, oh, I'm starting feeling very ill, guys. Right, I'm going to say, yeah, it feels like I'm still that young age. It's crazy. I still feel very young. I feel, but do you mean because you've kind of had a chunk of your life where you just was in Never Never Land? Mike, hello. Meditation changed my game into being what my dog hoped for. So he tells me now in meditation. I love that. Meditation, there is so much research that says that meditation is really helpful in overcoming addiction. And the reasons why is it's strengthening your prefrontal cortex, which is all about, it's the region of your brain responsible for impulse control. So yeah, meditation is great. I can only meditate before bed, and when I'm napping, I always meditate to try and get us to sleep. But I struggle with that. So mindfulness, like constant mindfulness, even prayer, if you're religious, is very similar, is just as effective as meditation. So it sounds very woo-woo, but actually, no, it's really, really helpful. Right, Dave, open up, don't be shy. Who's Dave? Oh, Dave, I can tell you, but I would rather not do it in here, and I appreciate what you said. Yeah, no, I understand that. Why don't you comment support on one of my things, and then I'll send you an email, and we'll just have a little chat on emails, and then see which avenue would be helpful for you. Something I've been doing for some people as well, I've had people who've been commenting saying they're struggling with something around addiction, and each live that I do, I start off with a mini lecture. Today's was quite poor. I'm quite poorly. But I try and base, sometimes what I do for people is I'll base the mini lecture at the beginning, the 10-minute natter on about something around the issue that someone's dealing with. So again, even if you just want to comment on any of my content with things you're struggling around addiction or mental health, I could do that as well. Just trying to support people in any way I can without burning out. Nice necklace, thank you. These are my mum's. This was the first thing she ever bought when she moved to London, and with the first job she bought this. It's a coffee bean, and I don't know why she got that, but she just gave us it. So, Jonas, you seem so kind and genuine. Please don't burn yourself out. Thank you. Try not to. I've got very good at being boundaried. Recently. Mike, instead of doom scrolling, simply write or in search first, then scroll enlightened. Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's being intentional with the information I'm putting into my brain. It's like, at the moment, my algorithm, and I find it kind of matches my energy. It's probably because I'm just on a depression session because I've been really unwell. But I just find I'll find something and then I'll latch onto it. And then all of a sudden it's just so unhealthful. And I think Mike's so right. Being intentional with the information we're consuming. Hi, Darth. How are you doing? Hi, Cuds. I don't know how you say that name. Mike. Cloud Surfer. I'm not going to read that out. Why is the UK so cooked now? Yeah, it's just a bit mental. I just try not pay attention to it. I've got my own little mental life to pay attention to. I can't be arsed to. And it's just that I think the whole world's gone doolally tap, as my grandpa used to say. Right. That's it. I'm going to go through, because there's a lot of comments, and see if people are... I know I'm not ignoring people who say hi to everyone, but I'm going to see if anybody's got any questions about mental health or addiction. Or any comments about how to overcome it. So we've got Nertha Crafter. I'm just going to call you Crafter. Filling your time with so much stuff to the point where you might not think about your addiction as much. Yeah, I think that's really helpful, especially in the beginning. But what we need to be careful is that we're not avoiding stuff. So I absolutely agree with what Nerth is saying. Distract yourself and just do anything you can to get yourself through that period, but don't continuously distract yourself, because there is stuff that the addiction's medicating. So it's then also about saying, right, I need to get through this, and then there's going to be a point where I need to intentionally start dealing with that stuff, and when you're in a better headspace. But yeah, I fully agree with that. Jonas, I did comment on one of your shorts, just said, I hope I'll happily be in your group. Is that enough? Yeah, it's just something so I've got your name so I can send you my email address, because I don't expect people to go back and forth with us online. I'd rather take it off social media. But yeah, I'll pick it up after. I'm quite ill. I've got an email from someone as well I've got to reply to, but I nearly didn't come on today, but I'm trying to honour my commitment. Max, good morning. Have an amazing Monday, my love. Thank you. I'm going to probably just try and rest. RMs, I go from one addiction to another. Yeah, that is so common. It's so common. I'm actually going to end it, guys. So I'm really struggling with my physical health. But RMs, if you're wanting some support, I've said this already, just comment on any of my content, and I'm doing a free addiction support group that you're welcome to join. And yeah, but that is so common, and I'm sorry I haven't got the time or energy to give you a proper response to that, but maybe I can outside of this. But anyways, thanks for joining, everyone. I'll be back again tonight at 9 p.m. GMT time, or if you're a morning guy, I'm here every Monday, Wednesday and Friday morning at 10 a.m. GMT. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon. Bye.